Welcome to Vintage Bricks. James, your host here. Today we're looking at the classic set 62 from 1987, and it really pitted the Lion Knights versus the Black Falcons in this auxiliary set. And if you make it through most of the video, you'll see an alternate build I did, which I think is pretty fantastic. So come on in and enjoy. This is what I call the big idea of these sets. These early sets were very realistic. This set we're looking at now had all of these minifigures and arms and their shields, but they had the one siege weapon, which was called a Battering Ram in this case, and the goal was somehow they had to breach the walls of the enemy's fortress, which was surrounded by these walls. And so they take the siege engine, in this case the Lion, so they'd attack the wall, boom, 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 and if they were doing well, the wall would fall down, and then they would be able to go on the top and climb off the wall, and there they go. Now there's another scenario, and this is what I'm showing you here, is where the defenders, in this case the Black Falcons, would use fire to try to burn up these wooden siege engines, and that was very effective of repelling them. So as you can see, there's lots of ways to think about playing with these sets. Now let's do a look at the build here. The build was pretty straightforward, and it's on this real narrow green several pieces of a base plate, and you'll see why that's important, because these walls articulate. One thing nice about these early sets is they had the nice sets of the walls that had the printed pieces of the bricks on them, which I think are pretty cool. These are, of course, the gray era of these sets, and a little place for the Falcons to sit on top. And then here's the classic Battering Ram. There is a siege engine, of course, in other set about this time. And these walls in this case are what I call articulate, and there's a picture on the bottom. You can see how they can bend almost 90 degrees. Here's part of the videos I really like doing an alternate build, and these smaller sets are pretty fun to do. I decided to do the bottom right on the back of the box, which was a prison cell that the Lion Knights had, and they had also a weapons rack that you see there. And a lot of the cells that you'll see in sets, the 6080 or 6074, were pretty simple. So this would be a nice addition to your diorama. And I spin it around so you can see the choices I used. I just used the original bricks in the set, so you can make this one pretty simply to follow sort of my guide here, or kind of make it up yourself looking at the photo. This weapons rack was very, I'd have to say, handsome. You know, it's a great way to store your spears and maybe the occasional axe here. You can again see how I put it together, pretty straightforward from the photo, and a really nice, distinctive piece to add to your set and your theme sets here. And have the bar that comes across. That's pretty classy from the set. I think 6080 had a bar just like that. Now let's look at the minifigures that came with the set. We've seen quite a few of them already. I mean, it's the Lion Knights and the Black Falcons. I call it heraldry, which is their symbols they use, and these Black Falcons are emblematic of that set. Now the Lion Knights had a couple, the double axe and the lion. Now make sure when you buy these that those aren't worn off. It's pretty easy to wear off that gold, and you can buy some of these and you get them, you could be disappointed. Now here I am in Barcelona looking at some different banners and shields of the different factions here in old medieval Barcelona. So this, again, some of these I thought I put these in here because I thought they were super cool. So again, we had the Black Falcons, which was against the Lion Knights. And these two sets, they went at it. And we could see in the new set that just came out, the Lion Knight set that just came out, the big one, that they're getting along now, 20 years later. But now, initially, they were not getting along. And they had the happy smiley faces at this point, solid studded heads. Okay, one of the hallmarks, this was an auxiliary set that was used to connect. You can add, here I put two of these sets together to create a little cube. That was kind of cool. You can expand the walls of your community or village like I've done here. Or you just can take the pieces, like we said, all these armored pieces, and you can have them as part of your diorama or your little set. Now the theme timeline here, as we mentioned, early on, 1984, the Black Falcons and the Lion Knights. And this set was in 1987, not where that dot is. Well, you can't go wrong with this set as a part of your vintage collection. Thank you for watching Vintage Bricks today. I hope you come back soon, and please subscribe.